All right, what's up, what's up? I am your favorite on-air personality, Georgia Dawn, in the building. This is the Check-In Radio Show.
And it's your girl, Queen Rachine, the hottest queen that is always on your scene.
It's your favorite Philly John, Sydney C.
Okay, so today we have Keylo in the building. You're from Albany, Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
shout out to 229 in the building. So you know, we show love to Georgia. We from Savannah, Georgia. So we
now 1-2 in here.
So yes, we definitely want to say thank you for coming out to this interview, Keylo. And so, you know, we're going to go ahead and get right into the interview. But first, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. So I'm glad that you're able to make it. So let's go ahead and talk about, you know, some of your latest music. I know you have some music featuring, you know, a good friend of yours, Juddy, right? So let's talk about that song.
Yeah. Actually, this is a song that I've been pushing for a while now. It's a song called "Wanna Prove," and it's featuring a good friend of mine named Juddy. So this is like one of those, good radio songs I've been pushing for a while. But now that I'm up here in Atlanta, from Albany, it's kind of able to, you know, continue to like push the life of the song and everything. But what I just released also is my new EP called "Better with Time." 7 songs on it. So I'm also basically promoting that EP, by the way.
And when did that release?
It came out February the 10th.
Okay, so this is fairly new.
Yeah,
okay.
It's real new. I just put it out on Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, all the major platforms.
I'm glad you said all the major ones, because you know what I'm so sick of hearing? Or check me out on SoundCloud or Cinderella live mixtape where you're not making no money from it. So I'm glad that you actually have something where you get enough streams, you get some money too.
So what kind of feedback you been getting on that?
I've been getting positive feedback, and mostly positive feedback. I think nobody said nothing negative to me, at least. But I have a song that's pretty controversial on there, and that called "Blindfold." So, you know, some people hear that song, they really want to know like what exactly was I talking about.
Yeah, what's behind that? What's behind that song?
The song "Blindfold" is I actually had an interview recently with another DJ. He's from South Georgia, named Crazy C. And when he initially asked me about it in that interview, but I wasn't really prepared to answer it because I didn't want to say nothing too crazy.
Right.
So, but yeah, like, I'm more prepared to answer it now. But the song, I kind of was like going at, I was kind of attacking the overall system. Some people thought I was like attacking a specific person, but I wasn't. It was more so like, where I'm from at least, I don't know about everywhere else, but you kind of, it's real stagnant as far as like everybody's kind of doing the same thing. So I try to challenge, like, not only did I try to challenge the consumers, but I try to challenge the artists and the DJs to not only the consumers try to, you know, broaden your horizon with what you want to listen to as far as good music. Because if it's good music, it shouldn't have to be only gangster music, or it shouldn't have to be only trap music, or, you know, smash another man girl all the time. You know what I'm saying? So because that also conflicts with the artists to make them be like, I want to try to make productive, innovative music, but I'm kind of conflicted right now because this is what everybody want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, you know, the next level up would be the artist, you know, to not really care too much about what the consumers or what people want to hear, and just focus on making good music and hope that it just be received well, and like not compromise who you are just to be a good artist. And then the next notch up is the DJs who, you know, like, one thing I learned is that when it comes to people that you're trying to get favors for, you gotta spend some money with them. But it wasn't always the time.
That again, we were just talking about this.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still like, you got some people that it's either one or two things. Either they don't have money yet, or they might not have enough money to do whatever they're trying to do at the time. So, you know, sometimes it's like, I definitely understand, because nothing's free. So I understand, like, feeling like, okay, we got to do something, or at least do something to show me that you're really devoted to it. But instead, I feel like a lot of good artists get looked over because they might not be able to afford to put themselves in that position. So a lot of I wouldn't even say just DJs, but DJs, maybe some managers, promoters, or whoever, they look over a lot of artists simply because they may not be able to do something, but they really good artists, and they better than a lot of the other artists that's out here. So I've been to a lot of open mics where you got a good artist and he might get on the stage by himself and have a real good song, but then you have another artist that get on the stage and it be the same thing you hear every other day, but he got 100 people on the stage with him. So it just they just like, oh, well, that one's better.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's fake love.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the overall meaning of where I was at with Blindfold.
Okay, I like that.
But I still was I was being very aggressive with it at the same time. So if anybody wanted to respond to it or anything like that, I ain't scared because by the song you could tell it ain't like I'm just gonna lay down. But at the same time, and it ain't like I don't have the skill. But it's just one of them things where, like, and if it pushes people from not only from my city but anybody that feels hit by it to come back and make a song or you know, probably make the best song they ever made, then I still kind of feel like I got a win out of that at least.
That's good.
So yeah.
I feel like if it offended them, then it must be true.
Probably so. Yeah.
If it makes you uncomfortable,
then
you
know it's true. Yeah, it hit your heart.
Yeah. Plus I said, and it was a line I did say I was the best in Albany in the song, but it was still kind of a play off of it was another artist named Randy G that was like big when I was in high school, and it was a play off of what he said way back when. But at the same time, I still feel like that, and I honestly feel like anybody that's doing what they're doing should feel like they're the best. So anybody that's offended by it probably feel like they ain't the best. So yeah.
That's true too. That's very, very true. So just talk a little bit about, and I know you want to really focus on music, but everything within that comes with this topic I want to talk about. So have you had your fair share of people who may not necessarily like value, you know how people don't value your time, don't value your effort, your music? Have you had your fair share of that? And like, if you have, like, just speak a little bit on that, because I know a lot of people who are tuned in right now do make music as well. Some people are kind of just starting up and they don't understand they're gonna have to get through something to get to something. So like, just elaborate on what experience you have had that have taught you a bigger lesson in the end with just working with other people.
It's so many lessons, but just to touch on what you said about just like value, I think you kind of got to create your own value. It's no, I don't believe it's just a lot of people, especially rappers. They come out and they just be like, I know the streets ready for this, or man, just put it out. Stop trying to say people waiting for it, and then when you put it out, you look crazy because people really ain't waiting for it. So just put it out, and then when you put it out, don't get too caught up in what it does. Just go ahead and just put the groundwork in behind it. And I feel like if you put the groundwork in behind it and everything kind of falls in place. And another thing that if you really serious about it, you're gonna have to sacrifice, and not just time. You're gonna have to sacrifice time. You have to sacrifice money. You have to sacrifice friends. You have to sacrifice experiences like going places. You have to even sacrifice love to a certain degree. So family time, everything. So if you really want it, man, it's not a walk in the park like some people may think. They might see the videos and they see the interviews and they hear the music or whatever and they think it's all good. But the good thing I like about, so what I try to put in my music is to like let them know how like just my real life experiences in the music. So this EP, especially the first song called Better With Time, and I put it's in that song. You can really tell that I was conflicting with if I even wanted to keep rapping, basically, because it was just all that stuff I just explained about when I did Blindfold. That's why it kind of goes with the plot. But everything I kind of explained with that was one thing that was really like bothering me, along with just like I was saying before, with all the sacrifices that I made. They kind of like all started to crash down on me at once, and it got to be overwhelming. So I took some time off. So my last project I put out was in like 2014, and I pushed that probably like well into halfway through 2015, and so this is like 2017. This is like top of the year, my first time putting out music since then. So
wow, well, I think you are to a good start. You actually have EP, like you said, that just got released less than a month ago. So what are your next steps as far as promotion? Now you have everything on major labels, but what's next for you with your music?
Next step is going ahead and getting my my live performances lined up, along with a few more interviews. Another thing, see, as I grow and develop as an artist, I used to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna spend all my time in the studio and think that's where all the reward comes from, but that's not where the reward comes from. So I had to and you put too much time in one thing, everything else gonna suffer. So I with this EP, I only did 12 songs versus like 15 or 16, and then now I'm trying to focus more on like understanding marketing, like strategy, because if nobody hears it, it don't matter no way. Also understanding that I'm in the entertainment business. I don't care how much I want to be a rapper. I'm still by default an entertainer if I'm in this. So I'm trying to learn to try to upgrade my live performances. Yeah, my business too. So that's why I got all on the major platforms. When other people putting their stuff out on like mixtape platforms, no offense to them, but you got to start somewhere because that's where I started at. But it gets to a point where it's like, all right, I'm not doing that no more. I got to a point where I don't even really know if I want to do mixtapes no more at this point. You know, my last project was an album. This one is the EP/album. So I don't even know if I'm really at that point in my life no more. I just feel like everything I'm doing now, I just want to keep getting bigger with it. So my live performances, I'm gonna try to, try to upgrade those and make those even better as far as not just me being on the stage, but other things as far as like things around. Like when you watch, like for instance, if you go to a concert, you watch a Drake performance, you see he got fireworks shooting in the air, you got smoke coming from here, you got lights shooting everywhere, and that makes the whole performance look larger than life in itself. It makes a person look larger than life. So once I just try to study everything of the game to try to be able to implement it in my way that fits my budget as I grow, basically.
You're smart.
Thank
you. People, you know what, we typically, not throwing shade to anybody, but we typically work with people, or sometimes we'll have people come in here and they're only focused on the music. Yeah. But you have that mindset where it's like, okay, you have to start as a team by yourself, and then when you have people that support you and trust and believe in you, then you know that's how your team is solidified. But it starts with you. Yep. Some people are like, the little yellow book is like dummies, writing for dummies and stuff like that. So you have these booklets that people feel like, okay, I'm gonna just pick up this book, or I'm gonna just find a publicist for this, I'm gonna find a manager for that. They're gonna be my other brain cells. I'm gonna just work on music. Yep. But you have to be well rounded, because you don't want people to manipulate you and take it for granted, or whatever the case may be. So I like the fact that you are, like you said, you researching, you studying. Marketing is very serious no matter what you're doing. So I think you're really on the right track, and I can't wait to see what you have in the next, what you have coming up soon. But I want to talk about your apparel, what you have on now. So you have on Chosen ENT. Yeah. What Chosen ENT? So
Chosen ENT is just pretty much my own independent thing, like as far as the label is concerned or something like that. So it's just my own independent thing, and I started it. So basically I just came out with my I wouldn't even say a line, but it's just basically merchandise with my Chosen ENT with my name on it and everything. Mm-hmm. So I came out with it initially like back in 2014 when I put my album out and everything. Okay. So I gotta go ahead and just like re-up on merchandise and everything. And last time I only did like strictly just t-shirts like these. And so and the majority of my fan base is women. So it kind of, I said this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna definitely come out with like maybe crop tops, or maybe just like form-fitting shirts that women wear with the logo on it, instead of them walking around with men t-shirts on, So
that's true.
Make them still feel like they look attractive with a shirt on at least. So that's why I'm doing it.
So it seemed like you are like a jack of all trades, honestly. Yeah. My question to you is, I know that you're like a visual artist, a rap artist. You're clearly a businessman. Is there one that ever takes a back seat? Like, is there one that you love doing more, or is it all like even amongst all?
Honestly, I feel like if I had a financer to employ everybody around me and I just check in on them, I wish I could just be an artist and nothing more.
Right.
But
okay. He's just so creative. So
right.
Just like, I'm gonna just throw it all together.
Yeah. But like another thing too that y'all probably know, I actually like all my music videos. I did all my music videos.
Short films.
Yeah, short films. Mm-hmm. I actually did all of them. I directed them, came up with ideas for them, and themes for them, everything. So I know how to do.
You're multi-talented.
Yeah,
and that's important.
Secure the bag. Yep. So and with this project I didn't record none of that. But my first album and all my music prior to that, I recorded, wrote, mixed all myself. So this one I actually like outsourced it and went to another studio just to have like a more professional sound.
Engineer too.
Yeah, I kind of did it all.
That's
Because it's like you got. I remember it's crazy because that saying they had with Big Meats was like either got time or money. Mm-hmm. So it was one of them times where back in the beginning I didn't have money or a lot of money, so I just invested in the equipment. Because if I had to pay other people to do it, I'd come out a lot more money.
Yeah.
So I just paid for the equipment and spent the time to learn how to do it, and I did it on my own. But now as I'm getting older and I'm making a little more money, I can actually start to outsource certain things that I just don't feel like putting my time and energy into.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense though. Sometimes you do have to, collectively work with other people to get the job done. So
one step at a time.
Yeah,
yep.
I definitely can agree. Well, do my co-hosts have any other questions for Keylo?
Oh, good.
I want to know, how long have you been performing? Like, when did you know this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Honestly, I still struggle with that question today. But I still feel like I done got to. That's another thing about the EP too, is I got to the point where like this is almost all I know. I've pretty much invested my whole life into this at this point. So it wouldn't. You know, I saw like that saying was that you digging for the gold and you almost right there at it and you turn around. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the one that turned around and then somebody else. You know, so I just
got the pot of gold.
Yeah. But what was your question? I'm sorry.
How long have you been performing?
Okay. My first time, I would say I was like 17. So I'm 25 now. Can't think out the top of my head, but I'm 25 now. So it's been a long time. Me and my cousin Los. Georgia Dawes, you familiar with him, but me and him started together. We was in a group together. We originally started like rapping on like MP3 players, and then end up going to like a real studio, you know, all that. And then, so we did our first performance together. We had a group, and we all did our first time ever performing together. And since then, I've been like performing. So I think it's kind of second nature to me now, you know. Mm-hmm. And another thing that a lot of artists don't know, that I was just talking about, just making sure you have a good show, but a lot of artists, I don't think they know that they need to rehearse too, you know, if you want to have a good show, you know, cause especially if you want to do one of the professional ones where you like just have your instrumental playing or something, or you just have only your chorus and the instrumental, and you performing the actual lyrics yourself without in the background. You need to rehearse and try to do your best to be creative and come up with a good show. I think overall creativity is very important along with marketing and everything else. But being an artist, I think you got to be creative overall. So like I said, you got to entertain people, whether you entertain them with the hearing or you entertaining them visually or live performances.
So like, what is your favorite, like your all-time or your most memorable performance?
I think the performance I can remember the most is the one I did the worst on.
That's
a good thing though, because you know how you know what's
I never want to do that again.
So but, like, just what happened?
And you know it's crazy. Me and my cousin Los performed this time together too. But it was one of them songs where we had just did this song. We was like trying to find out which song we wanted to do. It was an initial song that we wanted to do that everybody liked already. Mm-hmm. But us just trying to like listen to outside sources, and they're like, well, you should do this song. So we just did that song and didn't really know it that well, didn't really like it that much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we didn't rehearse that much either. We rehearsed a little bit, but we didn't rehearse it that much.
But
so
see,
Carlos
one thing is that I realized, because I dance, like my background is dance, so like I used to always get taught, like, you practice how you perform. Mm-hmm. So if you perform and you practice and you like, oh, I'm not going to even practice this chorus, I'm not going to do this, so I'm just going to do the verse, then you never know, something may happen and you may be like, this is a new song, I forgot it. So you really practice how you perform, and it makes all the world a difference. So that's crazy how your most memorable is one that you really regret. Mm-hmm. So that way that you know next time you have a performance, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna do that no more. Like I'm gonna get into the studio, I'm gonna rehearse. So
that's a constant reminder.
That's a lesson learned.
You got any performances coming up?
Actually, I got one tonight.
Tonight. Stay ready.
Yeah, I got one tonight. You know what? I found out about it last minute, so I hate that I can't really remember exactly all the information to it right now. Mm-hmm. But I found out about it through DJ Crazy C. But it was through Live Hip Hop Daily, and all of those people that I did the interview with last time, and that's what I'm gonna do the performance with too tonight. So yeah.
That's what's up.
Okay, so we're getting into some music, right?
Well, we have his music, so let's, give me a second because I was not prepared for that, Sydney C. But we do have some music, so, we already talked about it. What's the name of the song one more time?
It's called Wanna Prove. It's one of those, like I said, it's more so like a dance song. I think every project I do, I still try to have like a balance.
Every type of song.
Well, we like getting turned here in the check-in.
Yeah. I try to have a balance of like I won't say conscious music, but like music that people can relate to, along with like fun music. Cause I don't want to just be one of them artists that's so serious that I'm like boring in a way. So I definitely try to have like that perfect balance of like you can still like you can play my album or EP or whatever, and it kind of like well rounded as far as like subject matter is concerned. So yeah, and I'm from Florida, so I'm kind of like I like the upbeat type of music. Forever treat that as like one of my top 5. That may sound crazy. Okay. But yeah, so like those are like I definitely try to make music that women can definitely dance to and stuff like that. And this is one of those
Okay, well, go ahead and introduce your song for everybody.
What's going on? It's the guy Keylo, here to promote my new album, Better With Time, and you're gonna listen to my new single featuring my brother Juddy, Wanna Prove. Let me take you back when I was riding around in my grandmama caddy. Had a blast every second we had it. Fast forward 7 years and I'm still trying to blow off this rapping. Nowadays don't even know if I'm happy. It's borderline tragic, so routine that I just go with the flow. Don't even know if I still want it no more.